Our story of the video is titled Dead Weight from Season 3, Episode 6, originally airing on July 3rd, 1991. Our story starts with a man named Red Buckley playing a single-player session of chess while reading a book. His overreaching display of intelligence is interrupted by a sudden clattering sound. He draws his gun and takes aim, but the man walking through the door is Charlie, a known cohort of Red's. He says he's been stuck waiting in this room for hours, asking where he's been. Charlie, exhausted, says he's been tracking a man named Duval. The two talk back and forth. Charlie is impressed that Duval seems to practically own the island, but he can't seem to get a bead on his current whereabouts. But he's found out the location of their real target, a special rare pearl, which so happens to be at a mountaintop plantation that Duval owns. Red smiles and snaps his fingers, saying that the pearl is practically theirs. But Charlie checks his excitement, saying that it won't be easy. There's a lot more planning they need to do, before asking Red if he secured their getaway boat. Red says he hasn't, but that he has a possibly better plan involving a seaplane. Charlie cuts him off, telling him that he doesn't want to hear his plan, and that he only wants what he asked for. The two bicker back and forth, and Red sneers that Charlie treats him like an idiot. Charlie says that he'll treat people how he sees fit, before swatting away Red's chess pieces off the board. The two get in each other's faces. Charlie continues his dressing down, telling Red that he should be doing his part to ensure the plan goes through, and not just sitting in the room playing games. Red goes to pick up the pieces, telling him that chess isn't just a game. It teaches you to think strategically and improves your mind. Charlie makes a crack about him needing a mind to begin with. Red doesn't take the insult to his intelligence lightly. He pulls a gun and fires at Charlie, blowing a hole through his chest, killing him on the spot. Later, while having a drink at the bar, the bartender gets Red's attention, telling him that the man he's looking for just walked in. Red looks over to see Duval, strolling in with a cane in one hand and a beautiful woman on the other. Red watches as the man seems to use an extra amount of caution, looking around and selecting a particular seat to sit down at. Red approaches and introduces himself, reaching out to shake his hand, but Duval only gives a cold gaze in return. Sensing the unease, Red gets right to the point, saying that he heard he's in need of some help running his plantation. Duval's brow stiffens. He questions where Red heard such a thing. Red, thinking on his feet, says that it's a small island, and word travels fast. Duval's wife, Katherine, comments on Red's hair as she lights her husband's cigar. Duval lightly laughs, excusing his wife's remark, saying that Red's bright hair is an extreme rarity on the island and is seen as a beautiful trait. He then cuts to the chase, asking Red what he knows about running a plantation. Red sternly replies that he grew up working on his family's farm. Duval, sensing that Red isn't telling the truth, asks to see his hands. It takes only a slight touch before Duval comments that he doesn't have the hands of a farmer. Red notices the thick calluses and scars on Duval's hands, while quickly responding with the excuse that he's been at sea the last few years, working in the Navy, putting the end cap on his comment, saying that if he never sees the sea again, it would be too soon. Duval notes that it's a strange thing to say, considering they are on an island surrounded on all sides with water, and of course what's currently happening on the island. Red looks confused as Katherine smiles and bites her lip. Duval continues, saying that there is a revolution taking place, and that most people are trying to run away. Red says he's used to being in dangerous places. Duval slightly laughs, saying that he hopes that's true, then asks if he enjoys playing chess. Red smirks, saying that he does. Duval's smile grows wider as he playfully asks his wife if he should hire Red. She nods in approval, and Duval and Red drink to their new arrangement. Later, at the compound, as they walk onto the porch, Red comments how nice the place is. Suddenly, the loud sounds of gunfire can be heard echoing nearby. Duval waves off the noise, saying that it's rebels firing from the nearby cliffside, and that they have nothing to fear, as the rebels are poorly organized on this side of the island. Suddenly the doors open, and the warm face of a woman named Peligre greets them. Duval introduces Red, saying that he will be their new head of operations on the plantation. Peligre looks at Red, fascinated by his hair. She murmurs that his room is newly cleansed. Red asks if she's the housekeeper. Duval chuckles, saying that she's in fact a voodoo priestess, and that her cleansing is more spiritual in nature, before telling him to get settled and leaving with his wife, who seems to take an extra long look at Red before leaving. Peligre's gaze continues to linger on Red's hair. He tries to make small talk, but she only answers in one-word replies, never taking her eyes off his hair. While Peligre leads him to his living quarters, she asks if his hair color is natural. Red scoffs, saying that it is, asking what seems to be everyone's obsession with his hair. Peligre says that the color red symbolizes life, and that he should feel blessed. Red then asks what's wrong with Duval, noting his limp and scarred hands. Peligre says it's due to evil spirits, saying that he conjures them, saying that Duval is a witch doctor. Red stops and perks up, alarmed at the idea. Peligre laughs and says that she's joking, and Red seems to be easy to fool. She reveals the truth, that Duval has a condition called schistosomiasis, a parasitic disease caused by flatworms. They infect the blood and cause strain on the liver and spleen. They open the door to the dark cabin. Red jokes that he wasn't expecting the Ritz, but thought it might be better than this. He puts his bags behind the door. He notices a freshly severed ram's head nailed to the wall. He backs away in a panic. Peligre tells him not to be alarmed, that the spirit of the ram will protect the dwelling. In a panic, Red demands that the head be removed. Peligre becomes cold and stern, saying that he needs to be more careful, especially about things he fails to understand. Even his beliefs would seem odd to others. She coldly turns, removing the ram's head from the wall before silently leaving. After sitting in the room and still feeling unsettled, he returns to the main plantation house, calling out to Duval and his wife Katherine. After receiving no answer, he quietly enters, seeing this as a would-be opportunity to steal the rare pearl. He walks into the dark and silent house, finding the pearl sitting in a lit case. Just before reaching out and touching it, an arm grabs him from the darkness. It's Duval, warning him not to get too close, as he might set off the alarm, and the nearby army of his would be less than welcoming to be woken up at this time of night. Red asks why the army would show up, and Duval smiles, saying it's one of the many benefits of having friends in high places. Looking down at the pearl, Duval mentions in passing about its beauty and how it's one of a kind, saying that there are other black pearls, but this one is special. Red says that it must be worth a lot of money. Duval scoffs, saying that it likely is, but that some things are worth more than money. Snapping his attention from the pearl, Duval says that he's happy that Red is here, saying that he's hopeful the two of them become good friends before excusing himself, saying that he has to go to bed, playfully warning Red to never grow old, and that it isn't what it's cracked up to be, before walking off into the darkness. Red walks out the front door, only to be stopped by Katherine. She comments that the black pearl is beautiful and alluring. Red playfully flirts with her, saying that he was under the impression that she was his black pearl. Katherine comments back that she's more of a black diamond. Red doubles down, calling her a black queen, before saying that he agrees with Duval, saying that maybe some things are worth more than money. He slyly moves the chess pieces on a nearby table, knocking over the pieces, saying that maybe the Red King takes the Black Queen, before passionately kissing her. The two spend the night rocking the banana boat, before quickly devolving into theft as pillow talk. Gunfire and explosions go off nearby. Red puts all his chips on the table, asking Katherine if she knows how to shut off the security system so that they can leave with the Black Pearl. She laughs about his less than subtle tact, but the two devise a plan to steal the pearl and run away together, clinking their glasses together before another round on the banana boat. Later, in the middle of the night, Red rolls over in bed. He looks over at the twitching covers beside him, seeing blood starting to soak through. He rips the covers off to find a decapitated chicken, flapping and twitching in his bed. He stumbles away in horror, coming face to face with Pellegrini. She warns him about the deadly move he just made, and that being with Katherine is dangerous, saying that she will snatch his soul and throw it into the abyss of oblivion. Red, in a panic, says that in fact Pellegrini is the one that's crazy and dangerous. But she softly whispers that she's actually trying to protect him, before again silently walking off into the night, leaving Red still gasping in panic. Red gets dressed and storms into the plantation. Finding 2 armed guards, he walks past them. He finds Katherine and asks what's going on. She says that the rebel forces have taken the capital, and that they all will need to evacuate tonight. Duval pulls Red aside, telling him that he wants him to go with Katherine on the convoy, and to look after her. Red asks why he isn't going, and Duval says that he's too old and sick to run, before wishing him the best of luck, saying that they will resume their business shortly, before going back and sitting across from the military leader. Later, before the convoy sets off, Katherine meets up with Red in his cabin, telling him that the pearl is gone. Red, not willing to give up so easily, arms himself and says he isn't leaving without the pearl, before sneaking back into the dark house and seeing for himself that the pearl is already gone. He sneaks into Duval's office, finding him packing cash into a suitcase. At gunpoint, Red demands the pearl. Duval laughs, saying that he's already giving him Katherine, and that his greed disappoints him, letting him in on the fact that he already knows about them sleeping together. Red, thinking he's holding all the chips, says that he isn't leaving without the rare pearl. Duval says that even if he had the pearl ready, he couldn't put his hands on it. Red thinks that the convoy was a trap from the beginning, that he was sending him and Katherine to their deaths. But Duval says that it couldn't be further from the truth, that in fact he wants him to escape, before turning his back and walking away. Red yells at him to hand over the pearl. Duval turns around and Red shoots him in the chest. Red kneels down trying to search the briefcase. Just then, Katherine enters, asking if he got the pearl yet. The two continue to search but only find cash, paperwork, and balloons. Red comes up with the idea that Duval must have put the pearl in a balloon and swallowed it, saying that must be why he said he couldn't get his hands on it. Red pulls out his switchblade, ripping open Duval's shirt, revealing parasite-infested skin. He recoils as he plunges his knife into the corpse. He gags as he feels around for the pearl in the worm-infested body. As he's busy retrieving the balloon from his entrails, Katherine pulls a gun on Red, double-crossing him at the last moment. But just before she shoots him, Pellegrini stabs a voodoo doll of Katherine nearby. She cries out in pain, falling dead to the floor. Pellegrini enters the room, telling Red that he can keep the pearl, that she only wishes to get him out of there alive. She sneaks him out through the jungle. All the while, gunfire can be heard all around them. Red questions why she's helping him, and she questions why he would want a cursed black pearl, asking that now that he has it, is his life any better? Red snarkily replies that he's ecstatic. The two continue their trek until they reach a clearing. Red is happily thanking Pellegrini for the help, and she cryptically says that she only wishes she could have red hair like his. He laughs, saying that red wouldn't really suit her, but he's happy to hear the compliment. Pellegrini says that her people believe that the spirit resides in the head, and that his head must have a great spirit inside of it. Before brandishing a machete, Red looks over at her in panic. She swings the blade, beheading Red in one swift swipe. She takes the pearl from the palm of his cold, dead hand. She takes one look at it, before tossing it off into the woods. She walks down the path to her village with her true prize grasped firmly in her hand, as the screen fades to black. When it comes to the story of Dead Weight, it was based on a story of the same name from Vault of Horror number 23. The television version was brought to life under the direction of horror legend Tobe Hooper, with writing from Gilbert Adler and A.L. Katz. One of the fun behind-the-scenes details of this episode was the energy of the main cast. Whoopi Goldberg, who played Pellegrini, and James Remar as Red, were both already well-established character actors at the time. Goldberg was known for hit films like Sister Act and Ghost, while Remar was recognized for roles in Warriors and his appearance in the closing segment of the Tales from the Dark Side movie, which I actually covered about a year ago. Tobe Hooper, best known for horror classics like Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Poltergeist, was given a lot of creative freedom compared to other directors in the series, which is part of why this episode leans so heavily into violence, surreal humor, and those sudden tonal shifts. Hooper was also known for working quickly and embracing improvisation on set, which fit the fast-paced, chaotic energy of the production perfectly. Reception at the time of release was generally positive, but not exceptional. Not one of the most iconic entries, but still appreciated for its atmosphere, performances, and the classic twist ending. Modern discussion often points out that it stands out more for tone and cast than for being a top-tier episode. But that's all I've got for you in this one. I want to say thank you for watching, and a very special thank you to our channel members. Take care, stay safe, and have a great week. And we'll see you in the next one.